board meeting to order. Sorry about this. At 10 o'clock. First off, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary, will you do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Booth-Schmidt,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewicki, Commissioner Legrad. Here. Commissioner Romero.
Present.
Commissioner Plezek.
Here.
Commissioner Montero, sorry.
Here.
Thank you. Oh, I said it, but Commissioner McDonald, I already
Yes.
checked you off, sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah.
We have new board members and members of the board that were re-elected, so we need to do our swearing-in ceremony. So, Paul, you're on Zoom. I don't know, do we
Yes.
all of you get together in one little area? We have Paul, Pam, Kathy, and Tita that need to be sworn in.
Okay, 31.
So we can do it by the screen, maybe?
Sure.
Or this
Then nobody
way?
can see us.
How about
Why don't
this
we
way?
just do where we are? Because
Because they can see.
Okay.
I think I need to do this
So-
way.
If you'll repeat after me and put your name in. Okay. I
Tina Montero.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do solemnly swear.
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America and the Constitution and laws of Oregon,
America and the Constitution
and the Constitution and laws of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully and honorably conduct myself in the office of Sunset Empire Transportation District Commissioner
And that I will faithfully and
honorably conduct myself in the office of Commissioner
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability.
best of my ability, so help me God.
Certificates for each one of you. And Tita's and copies. All right.
Do we also have something that we need to sign to return to the county?
Yeah, something.
Do we also have something that we need to sign to
Yes,
return
yeah,
to the county? Okay.
Yeah, okay, good deal.
After the meeting, we can get those signed with Mary. Okay. Is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes. I think that considering the items and the intent and content of the items in the consent agenda and the fact that this is the first time a consent agenda has appeared, that we should take the items out of the consent agenda and discuss the role of a consent agenda on our agenda, and if that is something that the board indeed wants to adopt. I think there's significant items within there that we should be discussing. So I make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
The city of Astoria, what they do is, since they have larger agenda items than we do, is they say you can pull out, you can ask to have an agenda item pulled out and discuss it. So that's a possible procedure.
My motion was to pull them all out of the consent agenda at this time, so that we can discuss what the consent agenda would look like and what we would use it for, rather than just have it on the agenda for the first time, including items that actually need some discussion.
Okay.
And I come to this from with the agreement, but a little different perspective, and that is that those grants.
A little different perspective, and that is that those grants.
Whoa, we got some feedback. Anyway, those are all three
feedback.
contracts.
And
And no elected board I have ever sat on puts contracts into a consent agenda, which prevents you from being able to talk about it, ask about it, do anything about it. These contracts are our livelihood, and they should not be in the consent agenda. They should be actually in new business.
Any other comments?
I just want to say that I'm not opposed to creating a consent agenda item for our agenda in the future, but I think that it's the board's responsibility to discuss what types of things they would like to have in a consent agenda. And as Commissioner Montero said, something that basically determines our viability and sustainability going forward is not an item that should be included in the consent agenda.
If I may, the intent was to just expedite the process. The forms that we get and the contracts we get from ODOT are standard forms, and we don't get to make any dramatic changes to them. But in her point, Pamela's point, was that a consent agenda, you can request for things to be pulled off and have that discussion. So I was trying to just implement something that would streamline the process, yet you still reserve the right to pull those off at any time and discuss them. So, and in this case, it was my first attempt, and I think it's a good idea to explain what a consent agenda is. And Pamela, as you mentioned, that other agencies do that, where we're just an item where there's not it's kind of like a standard process. We're just going through the process, and these contracts will be signed. If there is no need to debate, then we have no debate. If there's a discussion, you pull it out, and we have a discussion. And it's just trying to, and maybe I picked the wrong things to start, but it's designed to expedite our business and provide a way to do things quickly and efficiently. But yet, at the same time, you reserve the right to pull anything out at any time.
The thing that we've been told previously in terms of ODOT grants and federal grants is we can't change them.
It's not like we can edit them or ask for more money or anything like that. We're just signing the contract. So,
right.
And in the case of having a discussion about it, that's fine. I'm really happy with that. But my understanding is, in order to expedite the process, in order to ensure that we avoid further delays, is that we need to get those done, and then we'll submit them actually tomorrow. And then that'll get us in the queue. Because if there's some reason to pull it, there's some reason that we want to debate it, it goes to the next meeting, that could have significant impacts on when our funding arrives. And I have a discussion later where I'll talk about what our funding situation is, and how it would be, and something like this could be, it's way more, a delay is way more traumatic than it might be normally.
Given that these are contracts, it is the board's prerogative and responsibility to authorize the signing of contracts. If this is in the consent agenda, we don't have the opportunity to authorize signing these legal documents, because they are legal documents. And without discussion, without explanation, it is not transparent. And it is our fiduciary responsibility to be reviewing these and authorizing these. That's a board action. That's one of our responsibilities. So I do not see this going into a consent agenda.
Can I call a question?
Sure. Okay, so we have a motion on the table to pull the 3 grants out of our consent agenda. Mary, will you do a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Bushnett,
I'm okay with pulling them out.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewicki, Commissioner Alegria,
Yes.
Commissioner Romero,
Yes.
Commissioner Montero,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So,
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Mary, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bushnett,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Lewicki, Commissioner Labria,
Yes.
Commissioner Romero,
Yes.
Commissioner Montero,
Yes.
Commissioner Clatsop.
yes.
We can move on to public comment. I don't see any public here. Jason, nobody there? Okay, move on to election of officers. At this time, it is time to elect new board chair, vice president, and secretary treasurer. Do I have any nominations for board chair?
I nominate Kathy Klezak for board chair.
I second it.
With the nomination, you don't need a second.
Okay.
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
Kathy Klezak has been nominated. Is there any other nominations?
I nominate Debbie Gleason.
Okay. So since I have been nominated and we really don't have a vice chair at this point, Paul, since you're the secretary treasurer, I kind of need to have you take over as the chairperson until this part of the election is finished. You're muted.
Can't hear you.
It's such a common error I see everybody do. I swore I'd never forget to unmute myself. There I did.
Sorry.
All right, then correct me if I'm wrong, Mary, but I think we need to take a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, all those in favor of Debbie for the chair position, signify by saying aye.
Paul, I'm sorry, you have to start with Kathy since she was nominated first.
I'm sorry, you have to start with Kathy since she was nominated first.
I'm sorry, forgive me. All those in favor of Kathy as our new chairperson, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have to do a roll call.
You have to do a roll call vote for this.
You have to roll call vote for this.
You want a roll call? Go ahead, Mary.
Okay. Commissioner Bushnett,
Okay. Commissioner Bushnett?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
McDonald,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
this is for the voting for Kathy.
That's Paul.
I'm sorry.
You're asking for Tracy.
Okay, sorry. That's Paul. I'm sorry.
I'm not hearing you guys.
What are you voting? Can you tell me what you're voting?
What are you voting?
Here we go.
Can you tell me what you're voting?
No, I'm not voting. Is it my turn to vote?
For Kathy. Yes?
I'm sorry. I'm not hearing you guys,
Kathy.
but I'm
Yes.
I'm not voting for Kathy. No.
Commissioner Labria?
And we're voting for Kathy, yes.
Commissioner
Commissioner Romero?
I don't think you can abstain.
I don't think you can abstain.
Okay.
There it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Did Paul ever?
He said no.
Hear me? I can't hear the audio from the
He
meeting.
said so.
Okay. So I have one. Bushnett,
Bear with me a moment here.
Donald, Lowry, as nay, and I have Allegria, Romero, Tita,
Allegria.
as I.
Tita.
That's two.
That's four, isn't it, Mary?
Yes.
Then Kathy is the new board.
Paul has not voted.
Yeah, he did.
He voted.
He did.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
sorry.
Mary, I'm sorry. I was having audio problems. I can hear you now. Did I miss a vote?
No, you voted.
Did you vote aye or nay for Kathy?
Did you vote
Nay.
aye or nay for Kathy?
Sorry.
Nay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Smith,
Okay,
McDonald,
thank you.
Gewicki have voted
Okay.
nay. Legba, Romero, Kathy, and Nina have voted aye.
So that makes Kathy the new board.
Yes, yes,
Kathy, are you ready to take over?
I guess so. Just, we don't have to move seats. You're welcome to stay right there.
What if I don't want to?
Well, it's the spot you chose. Okay, at this time I will open the floor to nominations for the vice chair. Do you have any nominations for vice chair?
I will nominate Pamela for vice chair.
Any other nominations for vice chair? Okay. All those in favor of Pamela for vice chair, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Since that's a unanimous vote, we don't need a roll call. And I'll open the floor for nominations for treasurer.
I nominate Commissioner Montero.
Commissioner Montero has been nominated for treasurer. Are there any other nominations for treasurer?
Secretary treasurer.
Secretary Treasurer.
Secretary treasurer, sorry. Secretary treasurer. It's not listed on here, so.
No.
So hard to do it from memory when you don't have it in front of you. So all those, any other nominations for secretary treasurer at this time? All those in favor of Commissioner Montero as secretary treasurer signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. You again can forego the roll call vote with the unanimous vote. Okay, on to the next item of business, approval of bank signers and amendment of bank signers. Oh wait, did we do them? Did we do the minutes?
No, that's afterwards.
Okay.
Minutes is number 10.
All the way down there. Okay.
This is a great
Commissioner Montero.
This is a great form, but I think probably somewhat some things need to be fixed on it. First, David Carr's name needs to be spelled correctly. It says Davy Carr, not David Carr. And the line that approves Rebecca Reed to be canceled is redundant to the last line that should read remove former vice chair. So the removal should say former board chair, former secretary treasurer, and former vice chair. So you don't need the line where it names, the first line where it names Rebecca because she is the former vice chair.
I would further say that if we just remove the titles completely and it just says remove the name, because that's really all the bank needs is remove that person's name, and then it makes it less confusing as to what's going on. So if the form were amended to say approve board chair, including my name, approve secretary treasurer spelled correctly with Commissioner Montero, and approve vice chair with Commissioner Allegria's names, then that covers that part. And then the second section about the removing of names just has to say remove the name and insert the names so that the bank has that in writing, and then we approve that motion here and it becomes part of the minutes, and then we use that document for the bank. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Fantastic.
It's a lot less back and forth as far as removing the position rather than the names.
They will require the minutes, however.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we're correcting the form so that when we actually sign it and we approve it, it'll be in the correct format. So we can approve the motion with the corrected form without it in front of us.
So I move to approve resolution 2025-03 with the corrections as stated by Chair Prezak.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Motion was made by Commissioner Montero and seconded by Commissioner McDonald. No further discussion from anyone? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Actually, this is a roll call vote. It's a resolution. Sorry.
Commissioner Bushman?
Aye.
Commissioner McDonald?
Aye.
Commissioner Lewicki?
Aye.
Commissioner Legrand?
Aye.
Commissioner Romero?
Yes.
Montero?
Yes.
Bezek?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Then, committee assignments. So we have at least 2 committees. I believe there's a couple more, but we can add those at the next meeting. There's a Transportation Advisory Committee. Is there any interest from anyone in particular who is currently serving on the Transportation Advisory Committee? Pamela? Is there anybody else interested, or would you like to continue?
No.
You do not want to continue.
I would be
You would be
interested.
interested? Okay, sure. Anybody else?
I sat on the committee before, and so I would like to be. I'm interested. Do we have a limit on how many board members?
There's usually one representative from the
Okay.
board on that committee. Anyone else interested, just so that I know who else is interested? I keep wanting to include you in my list.
I'll just scoot
No,
up for a little bit.
you're fine. Anyone else interested in the Transportation Advisory Committee? Okay. I'm going to say, Debbie, why don't you be part of our Transportation Advisory Committee? The Northwest Area Commission on Transportation, you're currently the representative. Who else might be interested in? Tracy, you've been the representative before. You'd be interested in again? Anyone else interested in?
I like that particular assignment.
Okay. I will say, just as full disclosure, I sit on the Transportation Advisory, on the Area Commission on Transportation at this time. I'm the bicycle and pedestrian advocate and Clatsop County representative at large. And so I would like to continue serving in that capacity, but I want to make sure that, full disclosure to this board, that I already am on that advisory commission. So I would not be representing SETD in that role if I continue that way.
So are you comfortable with me then, with my
I am,
expression?
if that's what the board would like to, and I am also willing to serve in the capacity of representing SETD if that would be the board's desire. But I'm wanting to have that discussion and be transparent with the fact that I am already on this commission.
So I would like to keep you where you're at and with your job, that part of it, but I think somebody from SETD should represent.
Oh, we do need a representative
So I
of the
think,
board, so it's just deciding if I continue only in that one capacity, or if I serve the 2 capacities and then open up the Clatsop County seat at large. Is what happened last time, is that when I was elected to the board the first time, I was already on the Northwest Area Commission on Transportation, and so I changed from being the Clatsop County Clatsop County representative at large to being the SETD representative. And so if the board were to choose me to be the representative, then I would step out of the Clatsop County seat at large and into the SETD representative position. So that's the only difference there. Commissioner Montero.
I think my preference would be that you stay in the position you have, because while you're not officially representing SETD, we know that you will bring that mindset along with you. And so I think that kind of gives us like 1.5 people on.
And that has been the case all along. So,
Right.
so just so that you know. So if nobody else is interested, then I will appoint Tracy McDonald to the Northwest Area Commission on Transportation. And
My best to serve.
Thank you. Commissioner Allegria.
I would just like to ask that the people who are serving on the committee give the board a summary of what has transpired.
Excellent recommendation. I'll be asking of that if you'll be prepared to provide a report back each time the board
I'd be more
meets,
than
the
happy to
commission
do that.
meets. And the same for the advisory committee. Commissioner
And
Montero.
I was gonna endorse that the reports from the committees be an agenda item.
Yes. Perfect. All right, and then we'll add the other committees or subcommittees at another meeting. So then we move on to the approval of the June 26th meeting minutes. Corrections or additions, Commissioner Montero.
I have, I guess I'm going to say a correction and a comment. First of all, I'll make the comment. It's my understanding, or two comments. My understanding that the part of the video record was corrupted. I think that it's, even though it didn't happen at the meeting, it's good for us to reflect somewhere in these minutes, maybe at the end, etc., that there is not a full video available to the public. The other comment I want to make is on the public comment, which was my public comment. The entirety of my public comment is in writing and attached and in this packet. I'm not sure that it needs to be paraphrased in here as public comment, but I don't know if that's the way it should work. But most importantly, there was a motion made by Pamela and Guillermo seconded that required the
Tia, can you give me the page number?
well, I'm looking at page 7, I believe, before item 7. There was a motion made by Pamela and seconded by Guillermo and passed unanimously that this board and the executive director review and make any necessary adjustments to the budget within 90 days of its passage. And that is not reflected in these minutes. So I'm wanting to amend the minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, to include that motion. Any other changes to the minutes?
Just a spelling
Yep.
change. Correspondence number 11 is misspelled. And did I see another misspelling somewhere?
Are you getting this, Mary, or do you want her to wait? Oh, you got it correct.
I
Thank you.
think that's
What,
all I saw.
and I saw some others to keep up my reputation here.
But Commissioner Montero, are you finished?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Commissioner Allegria.
Page 8, it would be sort of in the middle. It's just to delete Park, Rosa Parks, because the experience that when he was young, she was young, that's the other. Excuse me, that was young. But it means a lot. Wait, all you have to do is do a search for NE and delete it.
Okay.
Would be the easiest thing.
Okay.
And the other thing is my name's misspelled on page 9 under Northwest Navigator Agreement.
Okay.
Commissioner McDonald, any changes?
No comments.
Commissioner Wheat-Schmidt, anything? Nope. Commissioner Romero, anything? I have a couple items at the beginning of the budget hearing. It's not listed that the budget hearing was open for public comment and then closed for public comment, and for technicality that needs to be included. And the meeting minutes normally include the reports from the executive director, correspondence, leadership team reports, and they are not in the meeting minutes, and they need to be in, as anything that was presented during the board meeting needs to be included in the meeting minutes. Their reports. It's just listed as executive director report, included in the board pack.
Yeah.
It needs to be in the minutes.
Okay.
As part of the public record of what that was.
Could you repeat what needs to be in
Anything that's presented at the board meeting. So if there is a report presented, if there is a slideshow given, if there is a video shown, that needs to be part of the meeting minutes. Because that's part of the public
And what
record.
was missing was executive director, leadership.
The executive director and the leadership team reports are just listed as reports included in board pack and that doesn't cover.
A little bit too items missing.
So it's more of a narrative. In description, it is.
It's just
Specifically
describing where
so.
it is. It doesn't show it as part of the minutes, and it needs to be part of the minutes as reflected.
But the public comments need to be in the minutes, full
They are.
text.
So the written public comments submitted by Commissioner Montero as part of the public previous to being sworn in should be part of the meeting minutes
All public.
for this last meeting.
Yeah, so it's actually part of the minutes
So
under
okay.
item 11, correspondence,
For this meeting,
for this meeting.
but it was part of last meeting minutes that she submitted it
No.
and gave those as public.
No.
No, it's also in the public comment. It says, see copy of
Okay,
Empire. So
Got
so it's there.
right.
I summarized
As that is,
and then
yes.
include it for
Perfect. As that is,
For the
so
director.
should be the director's report and the management team.
the director told me to do it that way, so I did it that way.
Perfect.
Was wondering what to do.
No worries. We're all working this back out again.
So I move to accept the minutes as amended.
I second it.
All those in favor of any further discussion? Those in favor of accepting? Okay, we just lost Paul.
I think he had a meeting to go to another meeting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All those in favor of accepting the meeting minutes as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, so reports from chair and commissioners. Let's start with Commissioner Romero.
Good
Report.
morning.
Good morning.
No report from me, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Bushman?
Not a lot. I finished up working with David as far as being the interim director and haven't done a whole lot since then. So not really any reports.
Commissioner McDonald?
We worked, our Kiwanis Club did about 120 free passes in our appreciation certificates. And note that Mary also brought interest to that summer free program by posting posters in the booth and in the toll areas. So I think it was a pretty good PR event. So
Redesigned.
you do, yeah, and there is a
Thank you
report
for
there.
them. We redesigned it so you can hand them out.
Yeah.
Kids, and they put them in a bucket.
All right.
Bring them home. So.
Yeah.
Great reminders for the youth that they can ride the bus for free.
Right.
Thank
Yes.
you. That was a good idea. Anything further?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Commissioner Allegria?
As a member of the TAC, just wanted to summarize what has transpired. So there is a committee of 3 to revise the bylaws, and it hasn't reconvened. So that's where, and they're short of members.
Okay.
So the TAC committee has to have a representative from various institutions, and they are woefully missing because it is a community endeavor. That's it.
How many people sit on that committee?
At the moment, I think there's Brian from Tillamook, Lorraine, Damon, board member, myself,
Larry
and Larry Miller from
and Damon has also resigned from both committees, the TAC committee as well as the TAC policy committee. So
Why weren't we informed of that? Okay.
he just did it. He just resigned.
We'll be looking into getting some new members for that committee.
Needs to be.
So, we'll be working on that as a board. People, if you look at our membership requirements for the TAC, if you look back at your minutes, think of people that might be able to fit those roles and see if you can ask them to apply. We'll open those applications formally at the next meeting, so that you can, kind of prime the pump at this point by looking for people that might be good candidates for the Transportation Advisory Committee, so that we're not speaking in acronyms that people might not understand if they're watching this video after the fact.
Sorry.
So get the word out. This goes, to everybody in the room and anybody listening to this meeting, that if you're interested in serving on our Transportation Advisory Committee, we'll be looking for people and opening the application period officially at the next meeting. We'll have that as an agenda item. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Anything else?
I'm thinking, no.
Commissioner Montero.
I'm very pleased to be here, and I don't think I have a report from the past meeting. Thanks.
I will say that as your new chair, I'm honored to have been nominated, and hopefully I can fulfill this role in a good way and be the leader that this board needs. And I just want to say that being a board chair and voting for a board chair is not a vote of confidence in the last board chair or non-confidence in the last board chair, nor is it a statement about loyalty. It's just about, the board being ready for a different type of, different person and different leadership style. So it's not a vote of non-confidence in the previous board chair. And hopefully we can continue to work together as a cohesive board to accomplish the goals and the mission of this district and bring things forward, working together with the new executive director and the whole team at SETD. So looking forward to that, being in that position, and hopefully I can bring my knowledge and experience to bear for the district, and we can move things forward. So that's my report, because I don't have any previous activities as a board member to report. So continued business. Do we have any continued business that was not listed under continued business that I don't know about? Commissioner Montero?
Given that it was discussed at the last meeting and in the minutes, I guess it would be continued business. I have a question, and what is that? The status of the HR office rebuild.
Good question.
I have that in my report. You want to
okay.
give it to you now, or you want to wait till the report?
It's just a question, so if it's in your report, we'll wait till then. Good deal.
Is your report in the packet?
No,
Okay. Since I flew it once.
I have it, and I will
Okay.
be included in the minutes of the next meeting.
That's
So,
okay.
All right, then new business. We have 3 grant agreements that were moved from consent into new business. So we can discuss those one by one. So we'll start with the 5311 grant.
I want to add something to new business, and I want to make a motion. Add to new business, I think we need a discussion regarding the fact that we are now going into a special session, the legislature being called to talk about only ODOT issue funding, and I think they're going to revisit the moving of the payroll tax money from rural transit to ODOT. And I think we, as a new business, I think we need a discussion as to a plan for us to communicate with those of the legislature. So that's one. Number 2, I don't know whether, I would like to see us consider whether or not we need a separate meeting to talk just about these contracts. But I think we just need to think about that as we go forward looking at them.
Okay, so I just want to note that normally adding something additional to the agenda should happen at the beginning of the agenda. Since we have new board members and new roles, I just want to bring that up to the board for discussion as far as because I think it's very pertinent as far as the transportation bill package that will be discussed by the legislature, and the fact that the governor just called a special session, which happened after this packet was, this agenda was made. So if the board is in favor, I am okay with adding a discussion item into the new business regarding the transportation package in the special session that has just been called.
I am. You're asking.
Is there a motion to add that
Oh,
to the
excuse me.
agenda?
No. I'll move to add it to the agenda. Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Do roll call?
Yep.
Okay. Commissioner Bouchmet?
No.
Commissioner McDonald?
Yes.
Commissioner Legria?
Yes.
Commissioner Romero?
Yes.
Commissioner Montero?
Yes.
Commissioner Klezak?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So we'll add that after the grants discussion. Sure. So 5311 grant. Did you want to say anything about it? Or are you going to say anything about it?
It's just our biannual agreement with ODOT and FTA for our 5311 funds.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's our biannual agreement for 5311 funds through FTA as ODOT is the interim. ODOT is asking that we, and Arla might be able to chime in on this a little bit more. As most are aware, there's an issue between the federal government and a few states on some of the verbiage in some of these grants. So right now, I don't know what the exact word is, but there's kind of a pause in that. So ODOT's asking that we get our grants agreements signed and into them while we're in this pause. They want to make sure that we're moving forward and that we're getting everything done that we can't get done. So we want to be able to process through, and then it's my understanding that prior to the governor calling for the special session, ODOT was planning to have some people within their department who are going to be laid off at the end of the month. So we're trying to get grants in to get them pushed into FTA while they still have that staffing. I don't know if that's going to change with what the governor has said for the special session or not. But ODOT is just asking that we get them signed and into them as quickly as possible so that we can get them executed. They're already going to be late in execution as it is, final execution, but to get them in and moving is the goal.
So if I may add to that, the dispute is based on the new FTA contract requiring transit agencies to enforce immigration law in their business. And the state of Oregon has joined 19 other states in opposition to that, saying it's illegal for that to occur. There is a temporary injunction in place for that, and so they're saying that the funds, some of those funds were available, but the urgency of getting these contracts completed and in is getting them processed in a timely manner. Any delay will result in further delay in our funding. And already, because of the state contract, with the uncertainty with the state funding, the DOT funding, and the layoffs that are planned at ODOT, they may not have the staff to process these, and they're talking into the end of the current 2026 fiscal year to complete those applications. So any delay pushes us into actually 2027 fiscal year, potentially, depending on the outcome of the special session. So we have a situation that's kind of unique in that the federal government has been contention with their funding. The state is, because of the failure to pass a transportation bill, has now impacted ODOT's ability to process these for us. So we become a victim of delay and timing. So the 5311 is a pretty significant portion of our funding. The ODOT is where they receive the funds and funnel them to us. So So we're really solely reliant on them to get that done. Is Arla on the line? Arla, do you have any thing you can add about 5311 that we haven't mentioned?
No, I think you covered it really well, David. So we are short on staff, as David mentioned. That's going to be extended out to September instead of the end of July, the layoffs. But if the transportation package does not pass, then we will lose staff. We just had another one notified of layoffs, so altogether we'll lose about 10 people in our division. And we only have, I believe, around 30 or so.
And is there a task primarily to process these applications?
Please say that again.
Are there tasks primarily to process these applications? The people being laid
Yes,
off?
and to process applications with FTA as well, to enter them into what is called TRAMS, which is FTA's version of a software to track agreements and funds.
Thank you, Arla. Commissioner Legre.
I think it's imperative that the board pass all three of these grants. I'm not saying not to discuss it, but the situation in ODOT is so dire, and this is a huge bulk of the money for sunset. To delay it would be detrimental to functioning of the sunset.
Commissioner Schmidt.
I agree with Pamela. And Arla, if I'm not wrong about this, these 3 grants have already gone through the whole process of being approved. It's just now for the board to sign off on them. Isn't that correct?
Right. We've taken it through the Department of Justice, also known as DOJ. The legal review's been done on our side. We have to have the agreements signed before we can enter them into the FTA TRAM system to get the funds coming our way, and that's taking about 6 to 8 months, if not a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Commissioner McDonald.
And having some other members of the Eugene and Medford areas who are facing dire cutbacks come September already. I would propose and move at this time that we approve all 3 of these now.
You're making a motion?
Yes, I.
We're discussing just one of them at the moment.
So 5311. So 5311 should be approved, and I move that we do so.
Is there a second?
I second.
Further discussion? Commissioner Montero.
I have lots of discussion on this. First of all, given that I'm new to this board, I have some pretty basic questions. First, it appeared to me as I read all these that these are just templates. Because they're very repetitive. But I do wonder whether what our legal counsel has to say about these contracts. So that's question number 1. The other question, and this contract, 5311, and as we get further in, this is federal money. So I'm confused about something that was just said a little earlier, and that is that we've joined a lawsuit against the federal government for what they're trying to require. Even if we sign this, if the federal government decides to continue to require that, they could still claw back the money even though we approve. Is that not true?
Or not granted.
Or not granted. So there is still a huge discussion about the federal side of it. It's their money, and they're trying to say we have to do something that Oregon state law says we don't, and Oregon is filing a part of the lawsuit. So I'm a little confused on the process. It appears to me that no matter what we do, we still have a huge risk of not getting this money. Am I correct about that?
Anything else? Commissioner Montero?
It looks like Guillermo wants to answer my
I'm just
question.
checking that.
I'd just like to make a comment. The reality is right now in that arena, it's a big question mark. So we're basically at the mercy of the Fed and whatever comes down. And hopefully, we are going to be able to deal and address those issues on a contingency basis. It's not going to be easy. I think we all know that.
And Tita, on page 14 of 26 there, Nina has by email done legal sufficiency and
Okay.
signed off on it.
Could you tell me where? I see page 4.
Page 20, it's 24
Yes, but it says
supplemental
14.
26.
Which
The
item
signature
number?
page, is that what you're referring to? Is the
Yes.
signature page? The,
Signature
but that's
page.
the ODOT legal, yes. For their side that it's a legal contract.
They have,
Okay, what
they are verifying it is legal.
Okay, my question is, what does our legal counsel say about this?
I understand that.
We did not do a legal review of this. Could we rely on ODOT to do sufficiency of that? We could do legal, but now it starts to cause delay and expense. So if there's a desire to delay this further and to incur the expense for legal review, we can do that. It's just, in this case, time is of the essence, and this has been a standard form over I don't know how many years. Arla, is this pretty much the standard form submitted to all the other agencies?
Yes, it is submitted to all the other agencies. The only thing that's different is what we call a statement of work, which starts right after the signature page, which tells what is going to be done inside this grant, what the funds are funding. But it is a standard form approved by DOJ.
And is there an
And
opportunity
FTA.
to edit and or modify this agreement and then submit it to the DOJ or ODOT for review and make changes to?
That's very rarely done. DOJ will push back against any modifications.
So generally, agencies don't make changes to the agreement or aren't typically encouraged to
Correct.
make changes to the agreement?
Right. Typically, agencies do not make corrections to the agreement or amend the agreement itself.
So it's a standard template for requesting funds and receiving funds, and our input is the statement of work and what we're going to do with the money, but the federal government, DOJ, DOT, ODOT, all have this as a standard agreement.
Yes.
Commissioner Montero.
In addition, one of my concerns is that this contract says that there is an Exhibit E, and all it states is information required by 2 CFR may be accessed at a site, and that as the information becomes available. We have no Exhibit E attached to these contracts.
Are you talking about this one?
Yes, I'm looking at this one. There's an Exhibit D. There's no Exhibit E. Exhibit E is supposedly referenced as being online as the information becomes available. Again, it's like signing a contract that you don't know what all the ramifications, you don't know what all is in it. And another opportunity, you're basically signing a blank check kind of thing.
Or we're receiving money, so we're not spending. So I think there's less of a risk with that aspect of it. But what is Exhibit, Arla, could you tell us what Exhibit E is and what it usually typically contains?
I'll have to look into that. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head.
It's the link to 2 CFR, which is quite extensive to
Where is it to?
2 CFR.
2 CFR, that's the federal regulation that manages all of this.
Yes, that is quite large.
It's an extensive file.
From my recollection, it governs the usage and obligations required in expending federal funds, in accepting and spending federal funds.
So you take the existing CFRs and then the federal government, Senate, House, they can make changes to this legislatively.
And one of the changes could be requiring that we be an agency that aids ICE.
That's why there's a contention, because isn't there a blanket agreement for these funds that is currently under, like, I can't think of the name of it. There's a name for the agreement for these funds that usually is the overlying requirements.
I'm sorry, please state that again. I didn't quite understand you.
Isn't there like an overlying agreement that comes from the federal government that includes these requirements in terms of the immigration?
Yes.
What is that agreement called? Do you know?
Yeah. It's the master agreement.
Okay.
Commissioner Legre.
And it's quite extensive. We do not attach it, otherwise it'd be hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Commissioner Legre.
Thank you. We are not in the position, if we don't pass this, we're in a terrible situation because everything is so dicey on every level, federal, state, and this could hurt Sunset permanently. And if we lose this funding, it's going to be probably late in the first place. But if we lose it, then we're in big trouble.
Commissioner McDonald.
I don't have much to say other than ditto.
Commissioner Montero.
I have another question. Number 3 and elsewhere in this contract requires matching funds of $932,902. Where do we get those matching funds?
What page are you on?
If you look at item 3 on page 13, and I believe it's
13 in red?
Isn't that a stiff?
In red or
So
black?
it's from our STIF. It's our state
okay.
funds provide the local match.
So we get the $932,000 from another grant from the STIF. Is that where we get that money?
It's from our state funding. So that's what was approved when we had our Transportation Advisory Committee meeting in January.
Right.
And we approved our STIF plan. Our matching funds were in that.
Okay. Just want to be sure that we have the matching.
Yes.
So, if I would, Commissioner Vincent,
I'd just like to call a question.
I'm going to make a comment before we call question. Thank you. So that everybody has an opportunity to say something. So, I share some concerns about this grant agreement, and I think that fear is no basis to be acting from, and that by making sure that we are legally covered and not just the state is covering themselves as far as the lawsuit is concerned, because the specific language in this grant funds, they are covering themselves for not having to comply because of their regulations, but they don't mention that the recipient also will share in the coverage and the protection of their lawsuit. And so if we don't add into here that Sunset Empire also is following the Oregon lawsuit and is attaching themselves in the way that they will receive protection from that lawsuit, we could still be required by the federal government to comply with immigration laws. And as long as that is in here without us receiving any sort of protection, I cannot support signing this grant fund. So I think we need to send this to our attorney for review, and how specifically, in that specific question, how do we garner the same protections from the state lawsuit as the state is getting by adding in here just a sentence that says something to the effect of the state, the recipient will cooperate with the federal officials in the enforcement of federal law is in the first part of the section, and then the state is saying that Oregon Department of Transportation as an agency of the state of Oregon is subject to that court order. The extent of the certification and assurances purports to require an agency or person on behalf of the state of Oregon to agree to the immigration condition. The state of Oregon does not certify or assure that it will so comply or be bound. The state of Oregon's execution of the master agreement or this agreement should not be construed as a certification or agreement to comply with the immigration condition. For purposes of this agreement, the certification and assurances of the master agreement are modified to. So we need to insert that not only does the state of Oregon not need to comply, but Sunset Empire also does not need to comply. Because we are our own government agency and can be bound by different requirements. And so in order for us to be held harmless and not be compelled to comply, even if the state is not, I think we need to have some legal advice and get that inserted in there. Other than that, there are some minor modifications that need to be made. That we need to change the Sunset Empire contact to the executive director.
We discussed that and have advice from ODOT on how to do that.
Excuse me, this is where the board is talking about how we're going to execute this. And so the recipient contract on here needs to be listed as the executive director, and the board needs to authorize the executive director to sign. So that when we do make the motion to approve this or not approve this, and how we go about approving it, it needs to include the authority for the executive director to sign.
And that is correct, and I would again and add that to my motion.
But prior to signature, I think that we need to have legal insert our own protections. Look at this to protect ourselves.
And do you want to add that?
I didn't make a motion. That was my part of the discussion.
I can add that if you like.
So if we are going to make a motion, if we are now ready to call the question, if everybody has had their fill to say on this, then
Can we repeat the motion?
Yeah.
there was no motion.
Oh, no motion
There has
has
not
been
been
made.
made a motion. Oh, there was a motion to pass this.
Yes.
Sorry, excuse me, there was a motion, so, excuse
Can I
me.
respond to your comment?
To which comment?
The one you just made.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Thank you. Arla? Arla, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but if the way I understand the agreement would be we would submit our contract and the funds would be provided dependent upon the settlement of the lawsuit. And in that case, that rule, otherwise we would not get any money until that question is resolved of what the position the state would have, correct?
Point of clarification, Arla, I'm sorry, she's not an attorney either. However, that question has already been answered by the Supreme Court and said that the federal government cannot hold transportation monies hostage for compliance with immigration issues. So they already are out of compliance with court orders, and the lawsuit is just another way for the state to stand their ground on, what the state laws are versus the federal laws.
If I could add an additional comment as we're looking at the signature page, there is a place that it says approved as to legal sufficiency. Recipient's legal counsel is supposed to be signing this agreement as well. And I don't know that a legal counsel is going to sign this if they haven't reviewed it.
So, any further discussion?
If, I'm not sure where we are, but let me just say this. If you vote on whatever has been proposed, if we could have an immediate special session so that it could be expedited, like Wednesday or whatever day this is, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but just to put that in, that's what I have to say.
There is a motion on the floor Tracy made the motion and Commissioner Schmidt seconded it to approve the grant agreement in our packet. That is the way the motion reads right now.
And we can amend
You
the
can amend.
signatures.
So what do you want to amend on your motion?
I would just, to the recipient, contract would be updated, to our executive director, and that's all. That's all I really want to do is just get that done, and I don't really want to address the rest of it because we want to change it or that kind of thing.
So
So
there's
just keep it simple.
So there's one more piece of your motion that you need to
Go ahead.
to authorize it. The
Yes,
director to sign.
that was I wanted to pull that in, and I didn't previously, so I do want to add that the executive director be authorized to sign for our.
So the motion has been amended to correct the SETD recipient contact, and you accept the amendment?
Yes.
Okay, so there's been, all those in favor to accept the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Legria,
Yes.
Commissioner Romero,
No.
Commissioner Montero.
This is only to amend the motion. I'll say yes.
Commissioner excuse me, Chair Cleveland.
Yes for the amendment.
Okay.
Are there any other amendments or anything else that?
I'd just like to make a comment. Again, there's a void here that we are kind of wanting to be answered if we're not lawyers. And so it seems to me the biggest question is the legal ramifications. And this is my opinion, of course, we're making a decision without getting feedback from legal, which is really significant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I think we need to get legal clarity before we make any final motions and confirm our direction. That's my opinion. Because we'll be wasting our time, bottom line.
Can I ask a question? How quickly can we get this through legal? How long will that take us? We don't know because we don't have control.
Depends how busy they are.
It's going to be a while. Yeah, I mean,
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It's
We can always ask.
we start. I would move we ask. How's that? Or make that suggestion.
It's your motion, Tracy. You made the original
So
motion.
I move that we move this to our legal counsel for a post-case review and or signature in a short ASAP.
That's a
So
brand new
you're-
motion.
Exactly. So you're
Are you
withdrawing your original
withdrawing
motion?
your original motion?
Withdrawing your original motion.
Okay, wait a minute.
What was
Tracy
the
just
original?
withdrew his original
Well,
motion.
we just got done.
No,
Yes.
that was the amendment.
Okay, so the other.
No, he's withdrawn his original motion.
The whole
So
thing
there
is
is
on
no
the floor.
motion on the floor to sign this grant agreement at the
Yeah.
moment. Okay.
And I would make this new motion that this agreement, 5311 contract, be referred to legal counsel for review and approval
Can you put a time limit on it?
as soon as possible.
Expedite.
Expedited.
And
And they can't approve
they
it.
can't approve it, they can review it.
No.
Matters of an ethics, as they say.
I'll second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Discussion.
Can I ask who our legal counsel is?
SDAO job, Spencer.
That is not our legal counsel. Not for these types of things.
Matt Malston. Matt.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
SDAO is not our legal counsel for these
Oh,
sorts
no,
of
oh.
matters.
No,
No, that's,
It's Matt.
So Matt.
our county
oh, I
retainer.
see, right.
So who is it?
Matt. It's so long. Matt.
Starts with an M.
Matt Hauser or Matt something.
Was Heather.
Yeah.
I thought, what about Josh?
Matt Malsheiner.
Can you do that again slower, please?
Malmsheiner, I think.
Malmsheimer. Matt Malmsheimer?
Yes. Yeah. But you remember what he was with
No,
Portland out here.
Is it Josh Banner?
Josh is in the same
Oh, Josh
law
Stone.
firm.
Law firm,
Everything
separate.
we send goes to Matt.
Okay.
HK Law.
So there's been a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner McDonald and a second by Commissioner Montero. Any further discussion? Sure.
This is my first meeting, so I'm not really certain how. I mean, I've worked with the FTA in the past a lot, and it's not like you can amend their agreements. Those are the agreements they provide you with. I'm just concerned that any delays will impact our ability to provide service and will impact the employees here and the service we provide. The delays that we anticipate now are significant and put us out 8-9 months. Any further delays may necessitate us reducing service. So that's the impact of delay. That's. I agree that an expedited review is probably appropriate. It's just that the cost for that could be significant.
So I just want to, just as a response to that, FTA contracts do get amended. The state of Oregon is doing it right within this agreement. And they are stating specifically their protections and their reasoning. The only reason that the Sunset Empire needs to review this at this point, as far as that is concerned, is to make sure that we are ensuring the same protections for ourselves and for our employees and for our riders. And so, in that way, we are asking not for we're asking for a specific review of this contract in order to protect SETD with the concerns of those specific paragraph and protections. Delaying for a few days isn't going to change whether we get our money this month, next month, or in 8 months. The ODOT transportation package has already, the fact that the special section has been called, the governor has put off any layoffs for 45 days, has bought us a couple days to make sure that we are legally protected and we are protecting our ridership and we are protecting our community from us being obligated to do things that is not within our purview and that are illegal as far as the state of Oregon is concerned. So, there is a motion on the floor, and it has been seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of sending the contract for expedited legal review signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You're opposed? You voted aye and you're opposed?
I thought the vote was for expediting it to the lawyer.
That's what we just
That's what we just passed.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you expedite to send it to the lawyer for legal review. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
That's what we did.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Well, this is what I like.
Commissioner Allegri.
I like to end the meeting and work on this right now. You can't?
End the meeting and work on this. No.
Okay.
This is part of the meeting, this is part of the public process. So we've made a motion about this agreement. Are we ready to move into 5310? Commissioner Bushman.
Okay.
I would like to go ahead and make a motion, since we're going to send 5311 to an attorney to oversee. I think the same arguments will be made for 5310 in our stiff agreement. So I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and send the other two also to the attorneys. That as soon as we get word back from the attorneys, the director set a special meeting to bring us back together so we can take care of these 3 contracts.
And I would second that.
The director can't call the meeting. We need to call a meeting.
Yeah.
The director
We'll call
will
the meeting.
let
The board.
the board know so that a meeting can be called, a special meeting.
So that there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Just a second. Any discussion? Okay. Director.
I'm not sure the stiff agreement falls under the same purview as the federal funding. Is that correct?
It's different.
It doesn't have that same paragraph in it.
It's a separate, not with the federal government, it's with the state of Oregon. If there's a need or call to review it, then certainly you can certainly review it, but I don't think there's the same weight as the other contracts. I don't think there's a question about the legality of the stiff contract, and it's more just waiting for the legislature to act. They too could make changes to stiff, and we too could want to desire to hold off on that contract until they come out with a new. I'm not sure, again, I'm an attorney, so I don't know that it would impact the stiff agreement we're currently wanting to execute.
Commissioner Bushman.
So I'm just thinking that with the current board, they're going to want it to go through, and I'm just trying to expedite so we can get on with
Speak
the
to the
meeting.
board.
I think the current board is going to also want that to go through legal, since the other 2 are. So I would just kind of like to expedite.
The motion.
And in my second, I support that.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Montero.
Just a couple things I want to point out on the stiff agreement. Number one is that on on Exhibit B, where it says financial information,
What page are you on?
it's going to be page 74. Where it says financial information, there's no amount of money in the box that should have the amount of money put into it, as I saw in the other 2 contracts. The other comment I would make about that is Exhibit D, that's referenced on the first page of this. When you go to page 78, Exhibit D says, see attached OTC approved stiff plan. There's no attached plan. So again, incomplete. Another reason to have it reviewed.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion made by Commissioner Schmidt and seconded by Commissioner McDonald to send 5310 contract and the stiff contract to legal review signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. work, so I can keep up with that scrolling.
I'd give you 9 if it wasn't.
It's all good.
So the other
So
thing,
the transportation package, Commissioner Montero.
well, I brought this up at previous meetings. Now it's the ODOT budget, etc. There's going to be a special session, and I think that we need to be vocal about how it would affect our ridership if the payroll tax was removed from our budgets, and doesn't matter where it's sent, ODOT, whoever it's sent to, but we need to protect that payroll tax money that's coming to us right now. And so I think we either need to have a plan in place, we need to figure out how we're going to do this so that we are in contact with our state representatives, our state senator, state representative, to let them know that this rural transit district needs their support in maintaining that payroll tax coming to us.
Comment on that? I just was looking at an article, and I had looked before at a couple of different articles, and this one from OPB says that COTEC favors raising the 0.1% tax on Oregonians' paychecks that goes to public transit, and that transit agencies have warned of steep service cuts if this isn't increased. I haven't seen, and I may have just missed it, where they've talked about moving that to ODOT or something like that. It's been something that was in the back of my mind that they could try to do, but I hadn't actually seen it put out there. Where did you see that?
I saw it also in an OPB report.
Okay, I'll do some more looking then, because I hadn't seen
But
that.
there was not only the plan to increase the payroll tax,
Right.
but there was the plan to move that payroll tax to ODOT.
So just the increased piece of the payroll tax
No,
to ODOT,
all
or
of
the
it.
entire?
All of it.
Okay.
And
I'll
so
look more for that.
we don't know what they're going to be saying or proposing in the upcoming special session, but we need to be proactive about it. Whether or not they put that in there doesn't matter. We still need to be proactive and letting our state representative and state senator know that if they even look at this, they're going to be hurting us.
So just as extra information, as I sat in on the Public Transportation Advisory Committee meeting earlier this week, it is their hope that the payroll tax will be increased. They had, in the previous package, actually had support to increase the package to the payroll tax to 3%, 0.3%. With the transportation package not passing, they had actually asked for 0.2%. They were being given 0.3% because they showed need, and the reasoning for that. At the same time, there was the other conversation going on that all of that monies, all of the payroll tax money should be stripped from its purposes now and moved to maintenance and operations because that's where the hole is. That conversation is ongoing as far as payroll tax money. However, that is ongoing on the minority side at the moment. That doesn't mean it's not a threat. That doesn't mean that won't happen again. Indication at this time is that the governor is proposing a package that will include a 0.2%, so a doubling of the payroll tax coming to transit. I think that it is vital that we ask our executive director to draft a statement that can be submitted that outlines how crucial that increase is to the survival and the operations of our rural transportation district. And therefore getting ahead of the ball, as Commissioner Montero is saying, so that when this transportation package is discussed, the ammunition is already on the desks of our senator and our representatives so that they can defend why that money should not be moved from public transportation and why it is needed to stay with rural public transportation, because we will not survive without it. The 0.1% is not enough. That we and taking any discussion of taking anything further away would decimate our rural transportation.
Agreed.
I'll just make a comment based on my experience working with our legislators. There's two different kinds of messages you can send. One is the cold, dry facts. This is how it's going to affect us. But the other, which is what they ask for. Every time they've asked me to do any kind of testifying, what they ask for are the stories. They need the stories. Who exactly will this hurt? Who in our rural community uses transit, and how will not having this money hurt them? And so we need to make sure that our messaging includes both of those. But they want stories. They always come and ask stories.
So at this point, this is just a discussion, and because it's just a discussion item on here, and nobody has made a motion, so
Well,
Do you feel strong to make the motion?
yeah, I was going to.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and what Chair Klezak had said, and that is make a motion that we direct our executive director to prepare a statement to go to our I'm going to say Representative Javity and Senator Weber regarding supporting the needs of Sunset Empire Transportation District and the rural transit users by not allowing any money to be taken from us from the payroll tax.
I'll second.
any further discussion?
I will add to that. I believe that statement needs to be signed not only by our executive director but by our chair, so that they know that it's the taxing body that is also supporting this.
Is the amendment supported by the,
Support that.
everybody else okay with that amendment? No opposition to that amendment? Okay. Amendment is added unanimously. All those in favor of the amended motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. SETD report. Executive Director.
Correspondence?
Not online. Oh,
Number
sorry.
14.
Yes, sorry, you're right. Thank you.
I'll do that.
Correspondence from Paul. Okay. Dear Chairperson, after satisfying and rewarding 15-year association with the district, I have decided that it is time for me to step aside to make room for new ideas and new directions. I am beginning my position as a board member. I'm resigning, my position as board member effective July 25th, 2025. I've enjoyed my time with the staff and the board and have relished the opportunities that I have experienced while serving in different roles over time. I look forward to advocating for public transportation as a citizen, and I am excited to see where the next chapters of the district will take public transit in Clatsop County and beyond. To the staff, I thank you all for the support, camaraderie, and friendship that I've enjoyed while working with you. I have fond memories of our accomplishments, the challenges we have met, and the victories we achieved. Thank you. To the board, it has been an honor to serve with each of you. I wish you continued success and applaud your dedication and commitment to public transportation in our region. My best to you all, Paul.
Not accepted.
All right. Any other correspondence? All right. Then we move to the executive director report.
Thank you. Chair Klesick, esteemed board members. So far, I've had a really wonderful reception in this area, and it's a homecoming for me. So it's pretty terrific. I get to see my mom like every day, and it's been really terrific so far. Those of you who were on the board that hired me, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to share just a couple of things. Because it's my first meeting, I really am not in full meeting mode, and now that I understand this, I will have some presentations and such organized like that. My main goal coming in here is to kind of unify our team, which is the administration, our operations, and the board. I think that I want to create a new culture. We want to speak positively. We want to look forward and be collaborative. There's a bit of a stigma here, so I want to move past the past, kind of heal some of that, and really focus on building trust in the community, and doing that by being transparent and open. So I've done some outreach. I met with our team, and I've talked to them, and what I told them was that what we say in this room and what we say in these walls and these offices, it resonates throughout the community. The grapevine here is pretty short, and what we say to each other, what we say to our customers, that goes everywhere. And so we want to be mindful of what we say, what we do, how we behave. We need to be positive, and really try not to dwell on the past and kind of rehash that, because in every conversation I've had has been the same. Oh, you guys have problems. You guys. So I want to try to move that narrative away from that and move it to being positive and talking about being optimistic, talking about the future. I know in times like right now, it's kind of hard to be optimistic and having that hope for the future, but I think it's still there. We have a real core group here and a core model here that is sustainable. We just need to kind of get through some of this, and we'll do fine. But we work together, and not against each other, and support one another openly and honestly. I met with the board. I met with most of you, and had that conversation. I met with the chamber. I want to be involved and active in that. I met with business owners, some around here, and I plan to do outreach to a lot of business owners. I met with my peers, the WADA, which is Columbia, Lincoln, and Tillamook counties. I met the county manager, the mayor of Astoria, and I plan to join the CEDAR group that's here. I met with media. I met with KST. If you heard the broadcast at 5 a.m. on Sunday, you would have heard the exciting revelations I had.
That was exciting.
It was great. I mean, it resonated throughout the community. And sorry, I did not. I met with the Daily Astorian, the KRKZ guys next door. I have reached out. I've been reached out, and thank you for that, with OPB. So it's my intent to be the public face of our district as best I can. Be that positive and optimistic face as much as I can. I met with passengers. I've talked to some of our passengers. I met Melinda out in Warrenton, and she was going to play pool. She had her pool stick and everything. And she doesn't drive, and so the stories you were talking about. This is a person that rides our bus, and then when we even shut down and we have reduced service, she would take a cab to the bus and take the bus in that story. So we're an integral part of this community. We provide that pathway for people to and I don't appreciate the choir. We provide the pathway for medical, education, work, getting their groceries, visiting their brother, visiting their mom. And so we have that really going for us. To the board, I emailed articles from the OPD when I saw that, and email from ODOT outlining the issues. And we were all aware of it. Some of you are well informed, and I could learn by getting input from you folks, and I would appreciate that. I might be And I have history in the area, but it's ancient history. So anything you guys can do to support me, provide me with information, is appreciated. And whatever I do get and pick up along the way, I will share. The delays and the reimbursements and the federal funding, we talked about that already. But we got information from ODOT recently as yesterday, day before yesterday, and then they're going to special session. So all this stuff that's in flux could change. But it's my intention that as we get updates, we will share that information with staff, community, and with the board. I met with my staff a couple times. I first met with them when I first got here and told them how rosy this was going to be, how optimistic I was, and how the path forward was clear. And I met with them a week later and said, well, maybe not. But they appreciate the fact that I'm telling them this. I'm telling them in a timely manner. I'm telling them what I know, and I'm being honest about it. There could be impacts. There could be impacts to service, impacts to people. But it's my desire to minimize those impacts. We'll take care of our ADA, paratransit customers as best we can. We will do everything we can to preserve jobs for the drivers and the people that provide the service. We will, to that end, we're going to bring to you in our next board meeting, we'll look at our cash flow analysis. And we'll talk about this is what it looks like with what we know right now. We can operate at this level for this long, and we think we can do this. And then when the funding arrives at this point, we should be able to do, for the most part, what we're doing today. But that's uncertain. And so my intention is, okay, this is our plan, we can get to there, and I'll share that. But if anything changes, we'll make it a course adjustment, course correction, and immediately report again. Okay, this changed, we can go longer, or we can go shorter. So there's discussions on adjustments we can do right now, and things we want to put in place, including things like microtransit. But there's also things we can do in terms of expenses, in terms of other things, and just really doing more outreach, more ways to reach our customers and increase ridership. It's a tough sell. It's a kind of a tough environment here. But when it's a lot of traffic and a lot of stuff, having people on a bus is an advantage. And being able to take employees to work is significant. So we need to look at what we do, and maybe if we can do a few things better, and it might be able to have an impact on our community. But we will have contingency plans, and we will come up with new ideas, and we will share them with you as we come up with them, because there's some really neat things happening in the industry, and we think we can do a microtransit pilot and expand it a little bit, and provide not only the same level of service, but an enhanced level of service, and cutting some of our costs. This is really more, a smaller thing, but on the new wall we were going to put in here, I'm putting a pause on that. If we don't go forward with it, it's going to cost us $500 because there's a permit. I've been talking to staff, and I'm looking at doing a reorganization where I'm pulling more people over here into one place. I think if we're in one building, and we're all working together, particularly with the new ideas like microtransit and stuff, that proximity to each other will make our ability to provide that enhanced service better. I think we have a separation when you have two geographical locations, so by pulling us together, that kind of diminishes that to some extent. We won't completely stop there because we have our buses, we have our facilities maintenance and all that, so there's going to be a presence there. But as we work through that, we'll share that with you as we move along. The other day I did what everyone calls a suggestion box. So I asked employees, give me your suggestions. The executive director is asking for your suggestions. We have 1 week to give them to me. So I got the stack of suggestions. It was really cool. I got all this information from them. They were participating in this, and we're going to react to some of that. We'll be able to do some things and really have a positive impact on them. I want to do a board suggestion box. So I'm not going to send you out a little card, put it in a little box, but I would ask you all to have an email to me and give me your suggestions. This is not a directive. It's not. I'm not going to take it and just start running and doing everything. But I'm going to look at these things, and sometimes simple things that you identify that I haven't been here long enough to see is helpful for me. And if it's just a small adjustment and it seems like that, we can do it. If it's something major or big, we can plan for it. We can budget for it. I'm thinking already. I have a parking lot with this list of things I want to do in our next budget. So obviously, it has to fit with the budget, but I'm still working on it. So I'm asking you right now if you have any suggestions. Think about it. Doesn't have to be huge. It could be little things. One of the little things I'd love to do is a mural on our wall. And if I could get the donations to do that, I think it'd be great. I get the city to trim our tree. You can see it.
Just as far as that's concerned, just so that we're in compliance with public meetings laws and how the board is organized. None of the suggestions that come from the board are directives telling you what to do, because no individual board member has the ability to direct the executive director on their own to do anything.
No.
Just for clarity.
But if you say, for example, you say move this sign over here. I don't look at that.
We can make it an agenda item to discuss, but you cannot act on any one directive from the board member, from any one board member.
Well, if you give me a lot of suggestions, we'll have a lot of agenda items.
Actually, can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
I think suggestions are really made to get David's brain going. And I don't think any of us would be directing him, but have you thought about this? Or you might look at this. And then it's going to be up to him to come up with something that he thinks would be a good idea. And if that's under operations, then yeah. But I think we're all clear. No one of us is going to say
directing you to do something.
Yeah, and I would look at it with that same grain of salt, because the employees giving you all these suggestions, they all want to raise. Well,
that's different. That's
not going to happen, right? So just saying that, and then I would ask you then, if you're going to send them, have that caveat in there. Understand you're not directing me to do something, but you have an idea.
Yeah.
And if I pursue it or don't pursue it, then we should
I think that's a great idea. I just want to make sure that we're all clear that none of us are directing in those emails.
Mm-hmm.
So to the new board members, welcome. I met you recently, and it's a pleasure working with you. I think that we're going to have some really challenging times, and I'm hoping that we can approach them positively and optimistically, even in the face of some challenges. I think we're going to do IDs. Did we talk about that, Donnie? Can we take their pictures? Okay. So if you haven't done that already, we're going to do that. Yeah.
ID cards today.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We have new, and then
So you'll have
we're going to
new.
talk about that later.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you'll get your picture and your. No, I'm not wearing those. We have your ID.
Looks like this.
So you get one too. Not your driver's
You'll get a new
license
one.
picture.
I got it off the refrigerator.
You get a new one.
She
Oh,
she's
I
got
get a new one?
Yeah.
Gee.
And,
Um,
and the good thing about the ID is you can ride the bus for free.
Wow.
So why do we need a new one?
Because of the new system.
So they all
New system.
work together.
they all work together.
They're all part of the team.
My dad's been working on it. Nice
Oh.
presentation and system. Sorry.
Okay, you should have received an orientation package.
I have not received.
Still working on those.
We're working on that. So we're working on an orientation package that we will have for you.
I meet with you after.
And then,
Old board members would get them.
Yes.
yes, absolutely. I will offer you a guided tour of the facilities if you'd like.
Yes.
If you want to just reacquaint yourself, happy to do that. Just coordinate with Mary and I, and we'll give you the tour. And then training. I sent out an email with SDAO offering training for board members. It will be here in Astoria on September 23rd. So I asked you all to look at that, and it applies to that trend as well. If you want to get a refresher, I think that'd be helpful, and please consider signing up.
And the district pays for that, correct?
Yes.
So I'm already paid for it by another district.
Oh. Okay, that's great. Good news for a change. We have new buses coming. These buses were originally ordered prior to COVID, and those actual units, we lost them because we weren't able to take delivery of them. But these buses were reordered and ordered through with ODOT's assistance, and they're due to arrive soon. We're coordinating closely with ODOT to ensure we get the funds, and we're able to do this in a coordinated manner. So this is all going to be a really nice, positive thing for drivers and for the community to see us with some new buses. So in closing, I'm thankful and humbled by the opportunity to return to my hometown of Astoria, to work with Clatsop County. I would appreciate if you're patient with me, support all of our team, and support us in our efforts to be positive in the community. Everything we do resonates throughout, and I want us to move forward, be positive, while not forgetting, but we want to move past the past. And that's going to be a challenge, but I think we can do that. The more positive things we do, the more that scale starts to tip. Eventually I'd like them to say, hey, yeah, you guys are the ones that did the parade. Or you guys are the ones that did this. Or you're the ones that picked up my mom with a broken leg and took her to the hospital, and we appreciate that. So move past the past and into an optimistic and promising future. That's it.
Here, Mr. Director, I'm passing this beyond to let you where it belongs.
Okay. Transit is moving forward.
Financial reports. Good morning. A couple of things just to kind of touch on really quick. We ended the year within budget, so that was great. Fiscal year 25. So looking forward to fiscal year 26 and what we have going. Obviously some bumps along the road, but hopefully we'll be able to move through that okay. One of the things on the dashboard, I highlighted the 5310 reimbursement. That's for Q3. We have not received that yet. ODOT is working on getting that processed. I was just in conversation with Arla about that on Tuesday. So they're working to get that processed. 5311 and 5310 for Q4. We will be submitting those by August 15th. To get those reimbursements moving forward. We're hoping to not have a delay in those reimbursements to be able to continue to move us forward in this next quarter. So just looking at that, any questions for me?
Is this the dashboard? Yes. Okay, doesn't have a label on it, so.
Any questions regarding the financials?
About the financials, all of them?
Yeah.
I have a couple of comments, and I have a request. As I was looking over the whole report, one thing that would be really helpful, I don't know if this is on Excel. Okay, if you would use the function in Excel that automatically gets the headers on the beginning of every single
I'm
page.
sorry, I missed
Because
that.
it's really
yes.
difficult to read when
Yes.
I don't have my headers.
Yes, I'm sorry, I missed that. I usually do try to do that.
And is this profit and loss budget performance, it says the date June 30th, 2025. Is this for the whole fiscal year?
At the,
Or what's
you'll
the,
see year-to-date actual kind of in the middle,
yeah?
and that'll give you the whole fiscal year.
Okay, so that's year to date
And then you have the
through
month.
June 30th.
Yes,
Okay. Because one thing jumped out at me that I wondered how it was. Okay. And then I'm curious, profit and loss budget performance, we've got total income, we've got total expenses, but we don't have a last line that shows balances. The expenses, or the income minus the expenses. So I'm
The
just
net.
curious about that. The net. I don't see that line. And for me, it's something that I look at. The other question I have is on the consolidated balance sheet. Why doesn't it balance?
I am in conversation with AccuFund about that.
Okay. Because I don't think I could call it a balance sheet if I don't see that it balances. Yeah. I had to reach on that. On the credit card reconciliation, it appears that one charge is in here twice.
The 10190?
No. If you look down, I'm going to say one from the bottom. Count up 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 is page 89.
89, thank you.
5 from the bottom, and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4 more. They both have exactly the same check number. It's to Chef's Store. It's for exactly the same amount. It appears then that we counted that twice as an expense.
They're different days.
They might be different days, but it's the same check number.
See what you're saying.
So
I will have to look into that.
Yeah.
I know that there was 2 different transactions for candy that was purchased for the parade. So I will look into that definitely.
Okay. And then on the cash flow projection, page 90.
Before you go for any further,
Sure.
I believe that check number is actually the account number that it's charged against rather than an actual check number, because if you look at the rest of them, they're all by account.
Oh, well, at the top of the column
No,
says check.
I did the same thing. I just figured that out, so I hope that answers that question correctly. If you would just double check to make sure that is actually true.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy.
Okay, so probably you want the check number and the account number on that. Okay.
Well, it's a
That
credit
was-
card. It's a credit card, so there won't be a
Oh, it's a
check.
credit card.
It's the credit.
Okay, so then you just need to change that check to
Same
account
up
number.
here on the third,
All right.
fourth, fifth one.
Yeah.
That makes sense then. Okay, thank you.
It's just confusing when you're reading it all at once to
I know.
your brain to be able to
I did the same thing.
sort words. Yeah.
I asked Mary, do you eat candy twice? She said, I needed a lot of candy.
We didn't have enough, so, we didn't make it to
Note to
the
self,
parade.
more candy.
More candy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything?
And then I have a question on the cash flow projection. There's, I don't know what the line, sources of funds, line other might mean. And then on uses of funds, it appears we used $500,000 of contingency in November 2024, and we used the capital reserve at $100,000 in January of 2025. It kind of doesn't make sense for me, so I don't understand it.
So to answer the first part of that question, under sources of fund,
Yeah.
other is like our parking. We receive income for parking for that also has our interest in it. I'm just trying to go down my list of what else is in there. Any commissions that we receive is in there.
What do we get commissions for?
We have
Oh, I know what.
we
Yes.
have the charging
Yes.
station, and we also have
We sell the
vending machines.
tickets, and we sell the tickets.
And we sell the tickets for the toy bus. Yes.
Got
So
it.
all of those things are rolled up into that other.
Thank you.
And the one
and
with
then-
the revenue from the sign that doesn't look very nice.
That's in there as well.
Put that in the suggestion.
I'll put that in the suggestion box, yes.
We did not expend contingency funds or capital reserve. We moved money into contingency and capital reserve. And so it just was showing on our projection that that's what we were going to do and that we had actually done it.
Okay. I'll have to mull that one over to understand it better.
Commissioner Legria, were you finished?
I am finished, yes,
Commissioner
thank
Legria?
Okay, one, I read this somewhere, massive notes from SPAO, that miscellaneous you can't have a miscellaneous. Is other considered miscellaneous?
A miscellaneous expense,
So it's just expense, not,
not resource.
Okay, and this is what was here. Okay, so then you have all your sources of income. Where is LGIP in all this?
It's within, LGIP is a bank account, not a source of income.
So, okay,
We have income sources that are deposited into LGIP, but LGIP itself is a bank.
And what is LGIP, please?
Local Government Investment Pool, right? Yay! Ding, ding, ding.
the thing that is problematic, I don't know if that's the right word, is when you're trying to judge how much you're going to have in the LGIP. How do you do that since the board doesn't know the sources that compose the LGIP amount?
I believe we've talked about LGIP in the past, but our property taxes go into LGIP, mass transit deposit goes into LGIP, timber revenue goes into LGIP.
Oh, I see. Okay. So maybe somewhere in the packet too, that in the orientation packet that you mentioned what actually composes LGIP.
Like you just want like a list of kind of what gets deposited into
Right,
that
right.
bank account.
Yeah. Thank you.
Keita,
Yeah.
here's
Oh, yeah,
this.
I have that.
It's on the back page.
Yeah, but people who are watching this meeting don't have that.
And I understand, and you'll get the hang of it as you get into it. So
Okay.
Even though,
Commissioner
Go
Legria,
ahead.
excuse me, go ahead.
Okay, so perhaps I'm an idiot, but I still don't understand the contingency. I thought we had 933,000 number. So you have 500,000 in November. I don't understand where the 433,000 is.
So the previous fiscal year, we had put 400
33,000 something.
and something into contingency, and then we've earned interest, which is added to that.
So
So it
where is,
brings it up to the 900. So on your dashboard,
I saw it on the
the available
dashboard.
balances, and that's
Why
the
is-
only place you'll see it.
Why isn't it on the cash flow?
The cash flow is showing you what we're bringing in as resources and what we're expending.
Oh, so it's
It's not
just
showing a bank
expenditures and, okay. Thank
so the available balances on the dashboard, those are our bank accounts?
Yes, ma'am.
So we should really be looking at the dashboard to see all of our money.
That's going to show you what's available in the bank. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the financials? I just want to note that you answered quite a few of them already with the questions that were asked previously, and I echo the request that you please label the columns because it's really impossible to remember which order they come in. And
Yes.
your brain gets them all turned around.
And I absolutely apologize for that. I do. It is something that I definitely do try to do, and you will find from time to time that I do miss it.
Sure. I'm just, because to refresh my memory, if you would maybe explain what on the dashboard under ODOT grants, the amount used means. What year was that money? Is that money spent? Is that money transferred or received? Or what is that?
That is
What is
the
that?
total money that we have requested from ODOT this fiscal year,
2024,
2025. Sorry, not this current fiscal year.
Right. Okay. So does that mean we left 300,000 on the table, or that's just hasn't been received yet?
It hasn't been requested. That would be our Q4 reimbursement request, which we have not processed yet.
Perfect. So we're going to get the full amount that
Yeah.
was available. We will be requesting, and that is the case for all 3 of those grants.
The 5310, we will leave money on the table. There just is not expenditures within that grant to meet the full amount. The 5311 we should come very close to, and the 5339 is our buses, and so those rolled forward into this current fiscal year because we did not receive them in the last fiscal year.
Okay.
So we will expend that grant.
So that gets rolled forward.
All stars line up. We get our new buses this fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you for explaining the contingency odd, weird amount. Because I was like, how did we spend just a rough number out of contingency? But it being interest accrued is definitely makes that understandable. Same type of explanation for the OTID loan. Total with interest and fees, interest payment. Is that a balance of our loan? Is that payments received? What is that? What do those words mean there?
Interest with fees was the total amount of the loan. The interest payment is what we paid on it. The principal
To date?
to 710, yes.
Okay.
And then the principal is what we paid principal, and then our balance
So that's the total amount that we paid for the year?
for the
Or we
entirety
received?
of the entirety of the loan.
Okay.
So since it started in fiscal year 23.
Okay, so that's a running
Running.
balance, not a fiscal year balance. Okay.
I'm excited to watch that come to zero.
Yeah.
You and me both. In the profit and loss budget performance areas, just general questions, there's a lot of red in the annual budget percentage, year-to-date actual to annual, actual to budget. Can you explain some of the red percentages there where we are especially far off, in such as the 154%, 736%, 117%?
As far as the expenditures
Yes.
go. So those are so with our audit this year, we had to do AUP audits, and now I can't remember what that stands for, per ODOT because of our STIF. Arlo went away, so I can't even ask her. And so that was an added expense to our audits. Going forward, that will be part of our regular annual audit. So that made some differences there. Professional services, we had an interim director that we paid during that time and some other miscellaneous, I hate to use the word miscellaneous, but other expenses within professional services. So that's that one. I don't know off the top of my head, the computer and the building lease looks like maybe just needed to have been adjusted a little bit as far as the amount. Utilities is a hard judge, right? Where are we going to end there? Dues and subscriptions, that one is over the RTA maintenance software, which is an annual software for our maintenance department, was paid in June versus July. So that's that one. Fuel seems to be very expensive. So I hope did that answer your questions or do you have others?
It did, but it leads to a couple more. So just to check, so that audit, the 8,000 audit line, have we sufficiently accounted for that for this future budget?
Yes.
As well as the other types of things as utility budgets going up and other expenses in that area. Okay. Those are new board member questions, just to make sure that we have those things lined up. Same question about out of balance. The credit card payable line on the consolidated balance sheet versus the payment clearing line, and then the accounts payable other. What kinds of things? Why?
The credit card payable versus credit card clearing is what's been actually paid, what's cleared, and what's still sitting in the system
Okay.
for the next credit card. Accounts payable other, I'll have to look at exactly what's in that because I'm not really sure off the top of my head.
An accrued labor system.
That is because there's always like our payroll doesn't end at the end of the month; it goes over. So it calculates the way the payroll sits within the month. Because this is through June 30, so then there's still payroll pieces on either side of that.
I'll probably ask you that multiple times because
It's
those words mean nothing to me the way that they are. So just be prepared for me to ask that question over and over again until I remember that that's what that is. Commercial adjustment. Are we paying a bad debt to them?
not for us, no.
They're paying a bad debt to us?
Garnishments,
For employees,
yes.
Okay. All right. I'm good then. Any Commissioner Montero?
Again, and this might only be me, but in reading the reports too, it's way easier for me also if the lines are in the report. So
Like a grid,
Yeah. Leaving the grid lines in.
the grid lines, yeah,
I can add grid lines.
That would be
Everybody,
lovely
I mean, as long
if
as
that
that's.
it makes it look a little tighter, but at the same time, it's easier for me to track all the way over to the end of the page.
Are we okay with that? Board? Yep. That's a board
Thanks.
request, not an individual person's request.
I just want to make sure
Yes,
that one
absolutely.
isn't like, yes, please add it, and somebody else is like, no, please don't.
That's why I said it might just be me, but thank you everybody for agreeing with me.
So that's it? Montero, Commissioner Montero?
Yes.
Commissioner Labria?
In one of the reports, and I don't remember which one, it states that the board would receive a copy of the quarterly report to ODOT, which the board has never received. And I forgot to bring the site. I can do it for next time. I mean, you don't have to jump on this right now. That would be, yes.
So if that is indeed was part of a board request, then
No, it was in the either ODOT RLS report. It's in one of the reports, and it stated that we would get the quarterly ODOT reports to ODOT.
so then they just need to be included in the board packet.
I'll find it. I'm sorry, I didn't. I have a lot of papers and many rooms, so I'll find the exact citation. And the other question is, when some of these line items are significant overage, so is money taken from another line item to compensate for that because you have zero now?
It's within materials and services and within personnel services that those numbers stay within budget. So it's all within, and I think we've talked about this in the
Right.
past,
It
materials
still
and
gives me
services
the
as a
huge-
whole and personnel services,
Mhm.
that they fall within the budget within that as a whole.
So the amount would be the same, but the money would come from another line item,
Just all stays, it just looks at it as a whole within materials and services.
but you still have to look at a line item to move it out.
We
Transfer.
don't move from line item to line item.
So maybe maybe in the future the board can get together and we can have a strategic meeting where we can discuss ways that we can have the financials presented so that the information that you're looking for is more easily digestible, not just for you, but for everybody. And so that we can look at ways that we're being clear about the whole presentation we want rather than, in one meeting we're asking Kelly to do something and add something and then we add more to it at the next meeting and more to it. We want to make sure that we're asking for the whole package that we want, so that it presents the information in a way that we as a board can understand it and watch the things that we want to watch. And so all of us have a different way of digesting the financial reports, and all of us have different things that we look at and different familiarity with those kinds of things. So in order to make that a whole package that works for all of us best, we'll have to have that discussion as a board as to what we want included and how we want it presented in the financial report. Does that work?
That works well.
Okay. I like it. Awesome. Any further questions on the financial report? All right, so we'll accept the financial report into the record.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda. Is that you?
It can be if you like it.
Is that what it is?
Is that what you?
Is that what it is? I'm sorry.
Yes, paratransit.
Yes, please.
In your board packet, there is a recommendation. There is a 2-page no-show policy, and then there's the current paratransit plan that we work under currently. We had a RLS compliance review. One of the findings was that the no-show policy needed to be updated. So on our current paratransit plan, on page 98 of your board packet, there is a recommendation to remove the section that says suspension of ADA paratransit service. I do want to notate that the paratransit plan does need, in its entirety, needs to be updated, but for today's purposes, we just want to focus on the no-show policy. So you will see the paratransit plan in an upcoming board meeting to update the entirety for what our current service is doing. So there is a 2-page no-show policy that meets the requirements from FTA. And then, so I'm recommending the no-show policy as shown in your packet to be adopted, and I can place it in our plan.
So you're asking for us to approve on page 98 the removal of that one area?
Removal of that, and then adopt the no-show policy that is also in here behind the letter. That is page 92 and 93. Policy on no-shows and late cancellations.
So we're removing the existing section and replacing it with the new language that was recommended by RLS. Commissioner Allegria.
I don't know if you want to know this now, but the lower lower connector doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know if you want that removed now.
In the paratransit plan?
Right.
Yeah, we're going to do that later.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay, yes.
Okay, that's what I'm.
Okay.
So I would so move that we.
Commissioner Montero.
So I've got a couple questions, just so that I'm clear. On page 98, you're removing the area that says suspension. But on page 93, in the policy, it kind of says the same thing that you're removing.
Correct.
Okay, so help me understand that.
I need to replace the current statement, the suspension. I need to just remove that whole thing and replace it with this whole 2-page no-show and late cancellation policy.
But it's kind of the same. It's
It
the
has
same words.
more details.
Yes,
More
but more
details.
details, yes, correct.
Okay. So my other question is, if you go down bottom page 93, the policy for appealing proposed suspensions, and it says they could file an appeal request, which must be in writing by letter or via email. Somewhere do you provide the writer the email address to send their email?
Yes, in the plan, there is also the same policy, appeal policy that states, and we mail a letter.
That includes that
Yes.
email?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm just kind of curious, what all does the district do provide for riders to encourage or assist them in learning about cancellation policy and in not making cancellations, how do we hold their hands, so to speak, I guess is what I'm asking.
Right. So that we do have the paratransit plan, and it's on our website. When they run the risk of frequent no-shows, there's a verbal encouragement and reminder. We don't really run the risk of no-showing. We don't have riders that get this.
But how many people do we have on the paratransit list?
Unique users, it's been a while since I ran that report. I'm going to educated guess it's around 100 unique users that use it. Applications in its entirety is much larger.
Different.
Yes.
So if I were to apply and be accepted on the list as a paratransit rider, is there something up front where I get a personal explanation as opposed to go to the website and read this? Because I could be blind, I could be first grade level reader, I could be non-English. How do we educate our riders up front?
Correct. So that we send them their approval letter, and that also has a brochure, paratransit brochure, and a dial-a-ride brochure. And our paratransit supervisor's card, business card, is included in that. More than that, we are in the works of producing a document that's reasonable for education. Some transit districts have a much larger document. Jason, go ahead.
I want to add something to that too. Within the application to start out with, as we go through the assessment process, we'll notice like maybe they're blind. And so from that point on, we understand that there is an increased need for better communication or alternate communication methods. So that's where we kind of start, that process as well.
And all of the written items that we provide, do we provide them in English as well as Spanish?
Our application is in both forms. The letter of approval is in both forms. If we recognize the need for the alternate, and then that request of alternate format, then Mary and Jason, we all work together in making that available for them. Yeah.
And the one other thing is, do we measure the reading level to make sure that we do not write this at a reading level that is too high?
No, we do not do that.
Okay. That might be something that's considered at some point. But those are my questions on just that.
Commissioner McDonald.
I'm just not going to go point of order, but I just want to recommend that if we propose or make a motion, then we discuss it afterwards.
Well, we were still asking questions about the content beforehand to make that clear.
So we can put that under the content. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So
there's Nicole, the paratransit supervisor, provided a chat. May I read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So she says, we also have phone conversations explaining and answering questions as needed.
Okay.
Additional response to your question, Commissioner Montero.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that we have such a good staff that is informed and able to jump in.
There you go.
Remotely and in person.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's
thank
great.
you. So all questions answered about this. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept the updated paratransit no-show policy.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you for doing this, and yes, I just want to note in that there's quite a bit in the paratransit plan that needs to be updated and changed, because thank you for calling that out, that that's part of the plan, because I had lots of comments regarding that,
right.
So perfect. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Nicole?
Well, I just want to throw out there, if you guys ever have any questions or want to hear more, I'm available whenever you want to talk.
Perfect. Thank you.
So,
all right, Commissioner Montero.
Yeah, I have a question on the memo and what we were told is that we had 9 compliance observations and 4 advisory recommendations. Will the board get a list of all of those so that we know what the RLS compliance report includes?
Yes. We have that report. We got an extension on it, so because I just got here and it was due, I think, a week ago, and since I hadn't had a chance to review any of it, I wanted to get an extension from ODOT. We would go through it as a team. Everyone has to write their own piece, put it together, and then we would review it as a team, and we can present the whole package to you.
So the extension is on the reply for compliance.
Response to the
Okay. Yeah, I think it's important for the board to get a copy of all that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so then we're on to the video. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second here.
Thanks for hanging in there, everybody. I promise that these meetings will not be this long as just, a lot of getting your
There was
feet
a
back
lot on the
underneath you, and there's a lot of stuff on this agenda. So,
I have to share my screen for everybody online. If I can get to there, if not, I'll just go ahead and play it. As
does
is.
it have a include sound button at the top? It includes
Yeah.
sound. There we go.
Alrighty. So yeah, I felt it was a good opportunity here to put together something regarding just a really short bit about what we did, at 4th of July, very, very small part of that, but really to celebrate Rural Transit Day. Felt the need to do it. So here it is.
As fireworks lit up the skies along the North Oregon coast this past 4th of July, Sunset Empire Transportation District quietly shined just as brightly, serving as a lifeline for our communities, one ride at a time. From the coastal beauty of Cannon Beach and Seaside to the brilliant streets of Warrenton and Astoria, our buses carried more than passengers. They carried the spirit of independence, connection, and community. Today, on Rural Transit Day, we celebrate the vital role that public transit plays in weaving our rural towns together. Every mile of road is a thread that binds neighbors, families, and friends, creating a stronger, more united Clatsop County. Rural transit is more than a service. It's a symbol of opportunity, freedom, and resilience. It opens doors for older adults, individuals with disabilities, and anyone who needs a reliable ride to work, school, festivals, farmers markets, or a friend's front porch. As we turn the page and look toward the future, Sunset Empire Transportation District is proud to continue being here for you, mile by heartfelt mile. We are excited for a new beginning and renewed connections across our communities. Thank you for trusting us to be a part of your journey. We are moving forward together. We look forward to seeing you on the bus.
I'd like to point out that there's a fan version is actually online too, so go give that some views.
I would recommend adding the link to this to any communication we have with Weber and Javity. Good idea.
All right, that is the end of our agenda, if I remember correctly, without actually seeing it in front of me. There we go.
Make one suggestion. We can take a classroom picture or get the board all together and get a picture of this first meeting. You guys are
Sure.
captured in.
We can do that after we adjourn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I would so move.
That motion is not debatable. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes unanimously.